I've had a problem all my life that I'm sure many other people have also. I guess you could call it an eating disorder. Go ahead, carnivores, use that sound bite and take it out of context. I've had this habit all my life that I did out of guilt. And I just recently stopped doing it, which made me feel even more guilty. It made me feel horrible. But I'm sharing it with you. I'm sharing my experience with you. I'm making this up as I go. So there's no text here. I'm just speaking from the heart. That habit is always finishing my plate. Whatever's on the plate, eat it all up. I mean, people are starving in Africa, right? So that scrap of food could have gone to somebody in Africa. Think of the logic of that. Okay, I didn't finish this little piece of food here, so can you package it up and send it all the way to Africa? They'll get it next week, and they'll open the box, and it'll be this little tiny piece of mold. Like, how practical is that, right? So anyway, so you understand what I mean. You feel guilty, right? I mean, you're always told, finish all your food, be thankful you have it. And I am thankful I have this food, but people in the modern world, if you look at the proportions you get in a restaurant or just even anywhere in North America, it's huge. It's massive. And people wonder why they're overweight. They wonder why they have health problems. I've made videos before. If you just want to get healthier and lose weight, one of the best things you could do is just cut whatever it is you eat in half. Like, eat less. And that's so simple. Like, okay, I know it's really hard to change what you eat, but at least cut what you eat in half. The one of the only things they found that lengthens a lifespan is caloric restriction, and that's cutting your calories in half, no matter what you eat. So that's like the first step. But the guilt of not finishing what's on the plate, right? I mean, it just made me, I just had to do it. And then I realized I was starting to have a few pounds too many that I didn't like, and it was hard to get rid of them. And I kept eating the same food, and it was healthy food, but I was just eating too much of it. And I just recently say, the rule, like they say, stop eating when you're not hungry anymore, when you feel full. Actually, the Asian philosophy is eat until you're 3/4 full. Like when you're 80% full, stop. Even if you're still a little bit hungry, stop. That's the best thing you can do. If you're already full, you're like, oh, okay, I can't eat anymore. You're already beyond the point of eating too much. It takes, there's like a little bit of a lag there before the signal hits you. So stop eating before you feel full. It'll catch up to you within about 5 minutes, and you'll be thankful you did, because most people who are tired after they eat, they ate too much and they ate too many carbs and they got a sugar spike, their insulin's going through the roof and all that. But I do notice at the times where for some reason, I got distracted, I got work to do, I just stopped eating before I was fully full. After about 5 minutes, that not feeling full ended up feeling just right. I felt satiated. I felt, okay, good, I did have enough. I'm glad I didn't eat that last bit. And usually when I did eat all, like, till I was full, I was like, oh, I shouldn't eat that last bit, right? I mean, you know that, right? So there's like a delay there in the signal that it gets to your body, sends you. I guess your body's got this fear of starvation or something, a survival mechanism. But nowadays, you're not going to starve. So anyway, it took me a long time to really get the urge to just to feel okay about not finishing my food, to still have some left on there. And yeah, maybe some of it you can eat later or whatever, but that's not the point. The point is to not have to clear your plate. And yeah, I know you can say, well, just give yourself smaller portions in the first place. Well, yeah, what if you eat out, which most people do? Most people don't want to make their own food. And when they do make too much because they're all ravenous when they're hungry. They're like so hungry and they make too much. So you can't gauge your portions as you're making your food, because you're probably really hungry as you're making your food, and then you end up making too much. The only people who actually control that are bodybuilders, because they have to count their calories and they know exactly how much what they're supposed to eat, and it's not easy. So I think it's easier to, even if you get too much food on the plate, to just stop before you feel full and not finish it. that's it. I mean, you'll start losing weight. You'll start feeling more energy. You won't be as run down and tired afterwards. You won't want to go to sleep. You'll be thankful after 5 or 10 minutes or even 20 minutes. It'll catch up to you and you'll be going, oh, wow, I'm glad I did. So, yeah, so that took me a while to realize that it's okay to not clear your plate. I don't know, I think parents in the old days, they gave you this guilt thing because where they came from, food was scarce. They didn't have a lot. And I know that was the case with my parents. They were in some hard times back in the 30s and 40s. That was, scraps of food were worth gold. But nowadays, people they don't appreciate what they have. There's too much of it. It's gluttony. Anyway, so that's my point. It's like, most of the problems that people have nowadays is because they eat not only the wrong food, but they eat way too much of it. And I think there's still in the back of everybody's mind this survival thing. If you don't eat all your food, you're going to starve. Who knows how long you're going to go till you have your next meal? Oh, it's in 2 hours. It doesn't make sense nowadays. So anyway, it's okay. Just tell yourself it's okay to not finish your food. Matter of fact, I feel good when I have a bite. If it doesn't taste good, it just doesn't feel right, or I'm not hungry, or whatever, then I just stop. At any point, even after one bite, I just stop. I feel good. I feel like I accomplished something. I know people from 100 years ago would be like really angry hearing somebody saying this, but this isn't 100 years ago. We're now in 2024 where everybody's gluttonous. And what they're eating is processed modern crap. And it's actually better to not eat anything at all than to eat modern processed crap. So there's my lecture for the day. All right. I mean, it's better to not eat anything than to eat crap. It's okay to skip a meal. It's okay to fast every now and then or on a regular basis. Do intermittent fasting every day. Eat smaller portions. Eat better food. It's common sense. I know this isn't rocket science, but how many people actually do this? And how many of you, leave in the comments below, how many of you feel guilty when you don't finish your food? I know I was one of them. I think I got over it. So, boy, that's a tough one. Anyway, all right. Well, have a great weekend. Just sharing life, hoping we all get better in some way. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.